Hi, welcome to the Stockinit Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as J Nitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 129.
Ooh.
Yes. It is May, strangely enough, and my heat turned on this morning.
What?
Yeah, kicked on and turned it off. It's on. And it was cold enough. It was like 37, I think.
That's true, it was. But by the time I got home from work, it was nice out again.
Yeah, for sure. My husband and I may have cursed at the local weather guy when he said there was a cold front coming through. And Miss Fiona may get her wish that there's going to be snow when she's here in June. It just seems like it's hanging on.
It really does.
Yep. Did you have a good Mother's Day?
It was nice. The Onion had a thing about Mother's Day was wrapped up by 9:18 in the morning, and that more or less felt like my Mother's Day, you know. But, I was chilling and didn't have too many, extra responsibilities, so it was good.
So while everybody else was celebrating Mother's Day, my husband, either his friend was totally oblivious or sly like a fox, had a bachelor party to go to up in the Twin Cities on Saturday night, and then he stayed overnight.
With oblivious. Hopefully.
Don't know. And so, Mother's Day observed is in the Williams family will be this weekend. So, yeah, we're going to go up to Shepherd's Harvest, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah, I'm going the day after.
We will not be appearing together. We will be splitting the event in half. And I get the first half and you get the second half.
I'm a little bummed about that, but I'm going with a carload of women, so...
Yeah, and last year we both took our families and didn't really get to spend a lot of us time either, so...
Yeah.
And, hi buddy. So yeah, that'll be fun to observe Mother's Day. I mean, I got the cards. He came home and laid on the couch and was hungover, and the kids gave me their cards and plates, and most of the art had some sort of hand or foot imprint on it, which was nice. Because then when you look back on it, you can remember how small they were. Yeah. Oh, remember how little they were.
And then you went into the cupboard and gave them pots and pans to bang around.
Did not. My daughter and I went for a run, and she rode her bike, and then we went over and played at the playground because we live right across the street from the elementary. So, yeah, I actually was, tried to be a good mother on Mother's Day. I can't say that I had my moments where I wasn't, because I was being a single parent, but what else is going on with you?
Not too much. I mean, today I got a fun thing in the mail. I started this, I don't know what you call it, basically they're a stylist for you, and then they send you 5 things in the mail, and then you get to try them on, and anything you don't like you send back to the company in a prepaid mailing envelope. So I got my first shipment today, and I tried everything on and took pictures and then posted a collage out on Instagram, because I just wanted to I don't know, I just thought it was kind of a neat concept, and they did a good job at styling me. So I thought, okay, this is kind of neat. I need to share this. This is interesting to me. I do like fashion, I do like to go shopping, and I do like to have fun new things in my wardrobe. So, since I've become a mom and I do work full time, I haven't really been shopping, other than my once a year excursion with my friend, in a very long time. So this just seemed like, okay, somebody do a little bit of the legwork for me and bring it to me, and I help me get a little bit out of my comfort zone, things that I wouldn't necessarily have picked off the shelf for myself. Definitely the skirt was out of my comfort zone, but it ended up looking very nice. And The dress was spot on. Unfortunately, I have two very similar ones in my closet, so it's like, yeah, that's exactly what I would have bought, but I already have two of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need another one.
So there's no like minimum requirement to buy?
The styling costs $20.
Okay.
And then if you end up choosing one of your items, your $20 can go towards paying for that item.
Oh, cool.
So if you totally screw them and say, I don't want any of it, and send it back, they are getting a styling fee to pay for the shipping and
and
the
so it's kind of a
shipping
time. Shipping and handling fee a little bit.
Yeah, shipping and handling. They do have an employee. They gave me these style cards, which I thought was worth it. So each item comes with a little styling card, and it shows you what shoes or what bottom, and two different options. One seems a little bit more casual, one seems a little bit more dressy, and you get that for each of the 5 items. And somebody had to go through the work of putting that together, and then taking nice photos of it and compiling it, and you get this with each shipment. So they do a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, when you decide you want to fix, basically you go in and you say, I want one, and they have dates that you can pick. So it's not like I want it now and it comes in a week. It's like the next styling date is on May something, and then you say, yeah, I want to be picked for that styling day, and then they hook you up with a person. And it's not like I communicate with an actual person, as far as like chatting or conversations or anything, but I definitely feel like my style profile was listened to when they compiled the box, and I don't know, it was just a very interesting experience. So you got to pick your price points, so you could stay on this end of this price range, or to the max. You could kind of pick where you wanted to lie, and so I picked on the lower end of the price points. So it was, I don't know, I just thought it was an interesting concept, and with all these subscription boxes going around, it would be worth a shot.
Do you think that the clothing prices are fairly reasonable?
I would compare them to going to the mall.
Okay.
I mean, it's not Target, it's not Old Navy, but if you're going to go and pay full price Gap,
mm-hmm.
or somebody said that I didn't get jeans in mine because I specifically requested not to. I have plenty of jeans in my wardrobe that I really like. But somebody said their jeans were priced at like around $88. So you can kind of get that. If you're the kind of person who pays $20 for your jeans, and I'm guilty, I pay $20 for my jeans. But that's kind of the price.
What else was I going to ask you about that? And it's not like they don't have labels on them. These are all manufactured for them.
Actually, they have labels.
Okay.
They're ones that I hadn't heard of before.
Okay.
So I might, Google them later on the ones that I did choose to pick,
mm-hmm.
To see what they are. It says on the top, Under Skies, 41 Hawthorne.
That one sounds kind of familiar.
3 dots.
Did, last question, as I interrogate you about these, how did you hear about it?
I don't recall. I'm assuming it was Instagram or a blog or something like that, because I know that once I thought about doing it, oh no, I know what it was. I was listening to a podcast and it was sponsored by Trunk.com, but that's only for men and it's way on the expensive side, like, a pair of pants runs $200 kind of side. And I'm like, well, and it was only for men. So then I Googled style boxes for women or something, and this was one of the ones that got a lot of hits.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went out and researched it using Instagram and blogs.
Cool.
So then the blogs showed me an unboxing, and the girl took a lot of pictures of herself in her different outfits. And then Instagram, if you just hashtag Stitch Fix, then bunches of people have shown their shipments and maybe what they've done with their particular stitch. Cool. Fix, whatever.
They and they have a referral program, correct?
They do. So I have a referral code, and I put it out on my Instagram, but maybe I'll have Megan link it too.
Yep. If you're, folks are interested.
Again, if it's completely not knitting related, then it's
kind of is. We like fashion.
Yeah.
Some of what we knit is fashion, right? True. Whether it's a shawl or shirt or.
Yeah. I did have a no sweaters. Like, the notes on things, no jeans, no sweaters, no accessories, because some of the things that you can get, like I did not want scarves, I did not want earrings, I did not want necklaces, I did not want purses, because that could all be a possibility in this thing as well.
Yep.
But I have really nice purses. I have no desire to get
because you do sell pata, you don't need jewelry.
Right. So I don't need an inexpensive clutch to go with this outfit. I'd rather take my really nice purses and rotate them, and I don't know.
Or have the option in your Stitch Fix box that doesn't have that, right? Because then it would be taking one of the items.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly. I don't want to get it and then send it right back.
Because it's not something you're interested in.
Exactly. So you can tailor it with notes at the bottom to say absolutely not these things, because you have plenty of them and you would never buy them. And they would totally listen to you because they don't want to send you something that you're not going to buy.
Yep. Super cool concept.
Yes. So yeah, I said no jeans, no accessories, no scarves, no sweaters. The no sweaters was just basically thinking, like, I'd rather buy the yarn.
Yeah. How about like people, I'm completely interviewing about you about this, but how about people like me that really don't have a concept of like what their style is? So like, do you have to be pretty clear cut with the stylist that like, these are my style of things, like a clear vision?
So like, I showed you the style cards and it had like a little outfit. So they have a larger style card and they labeled them. So it says, would you say you're preppy? And then it has a ton of like pictures of things that...
So they give examples.
Yes.
Okay.
Of what, the clothing. And then it said, did you like some of the items, all of the items, none of the items, in the picture? And then you just kind of go through your interview process. And then at the end...
it's like Match.com for clothes.
It really is. There's so many questions. It's not daunting. It was actually really fun. But at the end, there is a place for, like I said, the no jeans, no this, no that. It's just like notes to your stylist was the thing. Oh, and then I also read a review from somebody on Instagram that said that she really enjoyed that if you are really into style and you Pinterest about style... you can give them your Pinterest ID and they will go out and look at your Pinterest boards and then see that, oh, she likes a lot of color or she likes a lot of jewelry or, and then take that into consideration when they put together a box of items. But basically they're trying to get you to buy all 5 items. And there is a thing that if you do love everything in the box and you buy the whole box, you get a 25% off discount. Which in my case ended up being like one of the high price items was free. Now I don't want everything in the box, but if I did, it was kind of a good incentive to pull the trigger on it.
What else was I had another question as you were talking about that. Can you like return things back for size as well and get them, like if you're like, I like this, but it doesn't quite fit me?
No.
Okay.
The concept of the program, it's because people also ask, like, if in the style card there's another thing that I see that I like, can I order that? And they're like, well, yes and no. We're not going to have inventory until people send things back. So everything that they bring in, they send out. And so they only have so many larges because they're ordering for the people that they have style cards for. And unless a person sends back a large, there's no guarantee that you're going to get a large. But actually... to be honest, I had a lot of fit questions that I answered, and everything fit.
Okay.
So, I mean, and there was a comment on my Instagram post that they had some problems with fit. So I don't know if I just, like, was super detailed about my fit issues, and that might be something that you need to, like, I don't know, get zen about and internalize and go, okay, I don't like things that are tight on my bottom. but I kind of like things tight on my top because I like my shoulders and I like my boobs, and so those are the things I want tighter fitting. But my bottom, that's when I look in the mirror and I kind of, I get kind of mopey about it. So I'd rather have like flare skirts and things that have movement on the bottom, because then that distracts from the parts that I don't like. And I don't know. I was very detailed.
Okay.
I had fun with it. Just describing all the things that I think about fashion. And you watch enough What Not to Wears in your life and you feel like you know what you're talking about.
Yep. Sounds fun. All right.
I was totally impressed. And that was really long.
Yeah. Well, I kept asking questions. So.
That's true.
I'm interested. It was interesting to me. It was new to me that you hadn't talked to me about it before we started recording. So
I know, I just got the first box.
Yeah. We did our pop quiz type ad hoc drawing for the Zombie Doodle Dandy by Desert Vista Dyeworks.
And did you see she's going to be doing her Halloween in the summer colorways, and she said something about doing 5 more Zombies or something?
Yeah.
On bated breath. I want to see what she comes up with.
So this is sparkly with red, white, and blue, and then there's some zombie green in there.
Yes. I really wanted to keep this, so whoever won it, yes, lucky.
Super lucky. And she is our fabulous sponsor this month, and there is another wonderful Zombie skein of yarn waiting at the end of the month. But at the time of the drawing, random number generator, we went out and there were 917 entries. So the folks that got some extra entries because the month isn't completely over, they, that's cool. They got their May in before the end of the month. You're standing on my knitting, friend. So the flash drawing winner, 2 through 917, was 741, and that was K. McKee 623. It's a very fun lyrical Rav name, K. McKee 623. If you contact me, I will get you the Zombie Doodle Dandy, and you can knit some fantabulous socks before anybody else can get that yarn.
Yes.
So, and that is all the administrative that's fit to be had. We have current KAL with summer tops, and I think you will see some of those in our works in progress.
Absolutely.
But you have a Fantastico FO over there.
I do. So,
am I sitting on it? Sorry.
I was very hopeful to get some socks done too, but I'll settle for this.
Settle.
I got my blanket done, so you'll see some ends flying off. I only have 2 more rows of ends to do, but all of the seaming and the knitting.
Look at that fantasticness!
Yay! See, and I'm still like unsure of the multi-block, but it works.
Is it just in the center?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, it's not the true center because there's no center to this blanket. It's kind of it's a 5x6.
It's not a square.
But I noticed I got a snag in there, so now I gotta fix it. Bummer.
Yeah. But it is fantastic. Look at that.
Yeah. So
I really like your crochet on the.
Yes. So you can see on the reverse side
it's
the
pretty
crochet
on the back too.
I'll show you the side without ends.
Yeah.
And so I really enjoy this process. If you can do this, this is totally recommended. That I have the semi-solids in the blocks, and then the variegated with each of the colors from the blocks is joining them, and I don't know, it makes me so happy.
I wonder if this is the largest dancing dog dye work FO. Ooh. I throw down the gauntlet. I want somebody to come up with a large one because I've knit a garment.
Yeah.
But that doesn't compare to this at all.
Yeah. Yo. You can get 3 squares per skein.
Dancing dog dye works. Yo.
So if anybody can beat a 30 block, so 10 skein project, let me know.
Maybe all those people with stuffies out there have, they could put them all in a pile.
Well,
in one project.
I know that there are DDD fans that have me beat as far as number of skeins and objects knit. I want one object. One object.
Amy's like, I want the world record in Dancing Dog Dyeworks finished object.
Yes. So
Largest.
that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the process of coming up which seaming I would like the best. And I think that this is the winner. Like, I love the variegated, the way I chose it, and then on the other side you can just see the little 2 pieces that are variegated.
And now, I can't tell from looking at it this close up, maybe from far away you can. Is there a color scheme to the way your blocks are?
Yes and no. They're not lined up perfectly, but there is a, like this one's not touching that one, so then therefore this goes over here.
So the two matching colors don't touch.
Right.
That's basically the theme. It's kind of like Sudoku. You can't have 2 ones in the box.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is one line that has 2 of a color because that's just how it worked out for me. Because I started doing this with partial skeins from my leftovers of DDD, and then I had Michelle dye me up what I needed to complete my dream. So, thank you,
You have
Michelle.
to be so proud. I mean, I saw all of these individually, and so, the colors were obviously brilliant and wonderful, but together they just...
So happy.
Kapow.
It is so happy. And again, I couldn't be more pleased with the joining of it. I am ecstatic.
It was a cool idea you had.
Cool tricks. But now I want to go fix that snag, so I will let you talk. That's my FO.
Oh yeah, I had one too. It just pales in comparison to yours. So I finished my Lindisfarne. This is the Sweet Georgia Lux Fine.
You almost swore.
Flux. I said flux as in flux capacitor, friends. I'm not marking this episode as explicit. And it washed up fantastically. Like, it was soft in the hand, but yeah, it washed up pretty nice.
That gets an extra ooh.
Yeah, ooh. And so it's long and kind of skinnier, but I was a little worried, I'm not gonna lie, when pre-blocking and pre-washing, some of these places were puckering, and I didn't put it in my project notes, and I could, and I was like, oh dear, what am I gonna have to do? I might have to pin this out. Nope, it just relaxed right up. Those short row sections just relaxed right up, and I think it's really pretty. This I had it sitting on the chair waiting to talk about as an FO, and I realized that this color scheme matches my fancy smancy Delancey.
It does, doesn't it?
With the gray and the blue. But yes, it's a very nice FO. Really great pattern. I could see using this with, if you had like a solid skein, which would be, in my case, the gray, but you could also do it and then have a pop with some like leftovers that I worked the stripes such that they were less heavy in my main color because I was worried about running out because it was like 300 yard skein. But you could really just work with it. You could have kind of like a scrappy one as well. And that's by Angelina Magera. And yeah, it was a fun quick knit for me. I enjoyed it. So that is my FO, and I will wear it proudly. I know you're working on your blind, but I don't have any more of those.
Okay.
Do you want me to continue talking?
You can continue. I've almost got it.
She's focused. I have a very needle happy mod that I have modded a great deal. I went out and looked at project notes, which I often do when I am working on a project, especially a free pattern, just to see what folks have discovered and, helpful hints. And if there are a lot of them, you can do the drop down in Ravelry and it says, others found these hints helpful or this project helpful, and you can just peruse those. But a lot of people were commenting that they were very large, like had very large, much larger chests than I. I'm not going to, say that a certain cup size is very large chest, but they said that, much bigger than I. And they felt that everybody should cast on the smallest size and then work up to whatever their chest needed. And so I actually did the math and modified it and made the cast on even smaller, so smaller than the smallest size, because I knew I wasn't going to need it to grow, and a great deal for my chest. And the way the pattern is written, it grows every other row. It's not because of the lace. The lace is integrated into the raglan here. You can't not increase, although I did kind of figure it out and worked even a couple of rows because it wasn't long enough. I was going to be armpit bound. Everybody loves a really floppy, bigger top that is really stretched for the armpit. So I modded that as well. So I added in an extra repeat down here at the bust, and then I did a ton more decreases here because it was very big. So I'll put it on here. That's why I have it on all of these needles.
Well, and it's one of those things where you just have to pay attention. The person that was wearing it in the picture, the main picture, looks very voluptuous.
Which is not me.
And so,
but it's not. I mean, the arms are a little floppity here, but I'm getting a little bit. This is out of the Madeline Tosh Dandelion.
So is this a faux Henley or?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Which again, kind of, I cast on and worked the ribbing, and then I was like, why aren't the things, why is it well, it said to join in the round, and I completely disregarded it because it's a Henley. Why would I join in the round? And it didn't have the button bands written into the pattern. And I was like, well, I guess it's free, but why don't they have the button bands written into the pattern? Because it's a faux Henley. You were supposed to join in the round and put buttons on this little fake button band. But
okay.
Yeah, I've doing broken ribbing down here, and I've got a ton of yarn left. So I saved this to do because I've noticed in the past where I'll use up all of the skein that I was working when I separated for the sleeves, and then you go back to join and then it doesn't match enough and you always see the line. Just because it's there. You see it even if it's not really obvious to somebody else. So saved this skein, and then this is the skein I'm working off of. Whoop! Showing my belly. And so, it's getting there. I'm not going to need a ton more. The Dandelion, I've had a couple of people ask, is really nice yarn. It's very similar to my one of my favorite yarns, which is TML. I've seen it written up as TML's more luxurious cousin. Adds a little bit of shine to the yarn. I don't quite know the thermodynamics of it yet, like if the linen helps it be less warm. But I would say
at 10%, I don't know that it would make a difference.
Yeah. So it gives it more of a rustic feel. You can see some of these bits and bobs, but yet the linen doesn't, bother me while I'm knitting it up. So that's, you can't have one and not
I
the other.
almost think that if you were thinking about buying it, I would think of it as tweedy, this is why it's being added to the merino. I don't know that the linen to the merino is being added.
The merino is the core, and then the linen is kind of spun around the outside of it. So it is probably just to give it that sheen and tweediness. But like the gray and my other one, Well Water, you don't really see it as much. It's just because it's this dark color and the linen didn't take the color in the same way. But yep, I'm enjoying it. It is very much a cousin of TML, and that's a good thing in my book. And I don't know that I had anything else to say about it. Okay. Just ribbing away here, broken ribbing my life away.
So my Pineapple Delight shawl is getting bound off. So you can see it's long. It should block out quite a bit larger than this. Right now it's all in its smushed state.
Yeah.
This is a very lacy But the lace weight that I chose, to me, is just like a light fingering or even just a regular fingering. So I think that the pattern, the people who had knit up the pattern in true lace have a different look for this altogether. But that's happening so that soon I can move the yarn onto the needles and start working.
Is that going to be like an 8-foot long shawl? Is that
No, it's not 8 foot.
She's in denial.
Okay,
that looks about as tall as you, and it's all slinched up on the needles.
You're probably right. I mean, when I saw it on a few people, it did seem like it was like this, like you can
wrap it around
really
several
wrap
times.
it around, around your whole body, not just your neck. Anyway,
and then you've got to join in the new color, and
I will. Yep, very soon. Yep, I'm excited about that. And then I didn't get very much further with the points. I think there's one more point in here, but you will see why.
Knitting ADD?
Yes, the knitting ADD has kicked in hardcore here. So I follow, oh my gosh, now I'm going to screw it up. So the designer of the Bakery Bear, I follow her on Instagram, and she's been making these bears for sale online for a very long time, where she knits them up and then you just buy the whole bear.
Briny Bear?
That sounds right. Briny Bear, maybe.
My brain says Byron because that's a local town here. But
But I started knitting up the pieces. I have his head and his ears and his nose all situated, and then I've got the body started. This pattern is a lot of seaming. Every piece is separate so far. Yes, every piece is separate. I don't think that the legs are knitted on either. They might be. They might be pick up and knit, but
but you're a masochist like that, right? Or is this sadist?
This bear is so stinking cute. At least on her Instagram feeds and her website, so stinking cute, so cute.
So
it's gonna be worth it.
The ends justify the means.
Absolutely.
Cool.
And so I was so excited to support her, so I bought the pattern and I cast on right away. And then I was thinking about all of those paper bags that I had filled with yarn and hadn't done anything with, and it's May. So I grabbed one of my hand spun ones and I cast on a Voodoo You Love Food.
Cool.
So I got Voodoo's body and head done. He's going to be very cute. And then he's got one little leg started, or arm. They're all the same. And yeah. So this is some alpaca that I bought at a fiber festival 2 years ago. Shepherd's Harvest, actually. And I was just unaware what to be looking for when buying fabric or fiber. It was the first year that I was buying fiber, and this was alpaca, and I bought it from 2 different places that year. One place's prep was amazing, and this place's prep not so much. So this is a very it has a prickle factor. There is no way that I could knit a garment out of it. Feeling it with my hands is fine. The moment it touched my cheek, ick. There's tons of guard hairs in here. This is not the soft, fluffy alpaca that you would think of. So I don't know what they did in the processing, but this is not a happy... I mean, it's making a very cute voodoo. And I was new to spinning, and so it's one of my first fairly consistent spins, and I like that, all those aspects of it. But as a base thing to be working with, I just chose poorly. So you can kind of. So the color, they had dyed it up, so they did a really good job on the color. I really like the color, but I just was not a fan of this feel.
Yeah.
They obviously did not understand prep, or they're still working on their process for prep. They seemed like they were fairly new to the industry, so their processing that was done, or whoever they had do the processing, just didn't really clean this up very good. It's still very prickly.
Maybe they were going for something more rustic.
I guess they could have been. I picked up the package. It said 100% alpaca. It seemed very floofy in the bag, but I didn't take it out of the bag and rub it against my face, or something that should have indicated to me that it wasn't, or maybe rub it against the back of my hand to make sure that the fiber itself was as soft as I was expecting it to be. Because as soon as I started spinning it, I realized what I had done. So it is what it is, and it's going to be an awesome video.
For sure.
It's not much of a cuddle friend, but he will look awesome on a shelf. And like I said, the hand on it isn't bad. It's not bothering me knitting with it and whatnot. It's just that next to the face, like the original plan was a cowl. There's no way this is going to be a cowl. So there's that. And I won't mention who they are. They've probably gotten better in the 2 years since I bought it. You know, you never know. And
or you aren't their target market.
Yeah. Gosh, I would have thought I had something else. Oh, it was in my purse. Sorry. I got a couple more repeats done on my sweater, and I see I have a few people knitting this exact sweater along with me, so I'm excited to continue on, get going, and move. The lace pattern, I must have done some of it while I was watching TV, because I got off by one in a segment about this large, and so I had to go down 2 repeats and fix it on a segment about this large. So I was proud of myself for doing it, fixing it, because in this pattern, in this yarn, I'm not sure how much I would have noticed the off by one, but it was bugging me enough in my current knitting, what I was doing on that row. I was like, yeah, it's only this much, or it was not the whole thing. So it was just go down for 20 some stitches, go down and fix it all.
Yeah, I got like that with this lace. I had gotten it kind of memorized, and then I figured out that I was like 2 rows off, and then I figured out that you can take back 2 at a time in the round. So you go down not just the 1 stitch, but the second stitch, 2 rows at a time.
Oh, okay.
So I went down the second stitch and held both pieces of yarn in my hand, and then back when I got back to where I started tinking, I just had an ultra big looped. It seemed like uber efficient at the time.
That was very cool.
I was like, I'm tinking back 2 rows at a time. Like, instead of going around once and then doing it again, I just went, the row beneath the row that I was tinking, and then held both strands of yarn, and then at the end I just had both strands of yarn. Tip.
I might use that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, hopefully you don't need to tink.
No. 2 rows.
Yes.
More.
Dropping down is good. I mean, it's just, this was, with the crossing and the skips, and not skips, but the slip, knit 2 together, pass stitch over, and yarn overs and stuff. It was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to drop down and fix every single one of the stitches. I was just not off by 1. I was off by
I didn't mean
bajillion.
So this is next week. See how close? Like half an inch.
You were just stuck to it. We are like the oddest couple this week. I'm like, I have 1 finished object and I have 1 work in progress, and you're like, look at me, I have a bajillion.
Yeah. Oh, not even. Look at that. It's so good. 3 rounds.
So you finished the other one. You had a hoe. You didn't even mention your hoe. Come on now.
There you go. I had a hoe.
Yeah.
And then I got busy working on the second one.
You got busy.
I did. So yeah, there's cleanup. I gotta, this one I had to remove a stripe, so there's ends to weave in there, and top and toe need ends woven in. But
you got lots of ends to weave.
Yes, I know. It's a lot. The blanket's actually fairly relaxing. Like, it's sitting on my lap. It's making me happy.
Yeah.
And I get a few done and I snip them and then I put it away. I'm not.
I would just use it, and then as you're sitting there, like, you're enjoying that blanket? Let's weave in some ends.
Yeah. No, yep. that's kind of what I did the first night, and I got a couple rows done, and because the first 2 sets that I seamed together, I was like, okay, this is fine. I'll just keep going, and weave in my ends, and I did all that, and then the last 4 was just like I was seaming them in as fast as I could. Let's do this. And so then all the ends were out, and there was no cleaning them up. So yeah. It's a slow-going process. Yeah, it's a slow-going process, but it will be better, and I love it.
All right, let's talk briefly about purchases. I'm going to hold off on gift talking about, if that's okay with you.
Okay.
I saw on Instagram, I was Instagram enabled, this adorable bag. Every woman whose husband has told her that she was talking about network interface cards in her sleep needs a bag that has interfaces on the outside and circuitry on the inside. Computer slays me.
What percentage of the population are these women?
Me. Other computer geeky people.
They have to be married and talk in their sleep.
Okay. That's a very small percentage. I don't talk in my sleep anymore either. I don't really dream anymore. Anyway, that's a tangent. Computer geekery people that work with interfaces.
Okay, now you're talking to a higher person.
Yeah. And I think that there's a lot of techie women out there. And certainly on the inside.
I just
Suburban Stitcher. She had these, and one of the cool things that I don't think that I realized when I got the bag is that her little side things are rulers. Oh, so that's really an inch, which is pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, now you can measure 9 inches, right?
If you wanted. Mm-hmm. And so I haven't put anything in my fabulous bag yet, but so Suburban Stitcher, that's Diane, and she has the Suburban Stitcher podcast, and she also is doing bags. So I don't know, I like stalked this because I was like, oh, I must have one. Mm-hmm. And then I requested a custom one because I was like, I keep on checking, when is it going to go out? So, but yes, very happy with my bag. Can't wait until somebody walks up to me and is like, it's just my day job combined with my, not night job, but my hobby, right? Mm-hmm. So, super excited. Thank you very much, Diane. It was fantastic. Don't try to plug anything into these interfaces. Won't work. Your purchase.
Anytime I put on one of my sweaters that I've knit out of Hempathy or my dress, I fall in love with that yarn all over again. Washes well. I enjoy knitting with it. I love Hempathy. It is my yarn of choice for summer garments. So I went ahead and ordered 5 skeins of each. So that's over 750 yards of these 2 colors to do something with.
650. Isn't it 150 yards a skein?
Yeah, I got 5.
Yeah, 750.
I thought I did the math. I'm
yes.
sorry.
I was like 500. Oh wait, you're right. That extra 50 times 5.
Yeah.
Gets ya.
Yeah, it does.
And Webb's had a sale on that, right?
Yes.
Is that what pushed you over the edge?
Yeah. Normally you have to get over 100 at least dollars to get the % off. That these were just standard. So
it's their anniversary sale, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
And I was not enabled by anything. I just wanted Hempathy, knew that Webb's carried it, saw that it was discounted, and went, score, it's my lucky day, and added it to the cart. And
you're not gonna try to stripe those? Those are gonna be distinct garments?
I believe that these are gonna be distinct, separate garments. They would look pretty good striped, but the item that would need 1,500 yards, I don't know that I would stripe that. It would be like a large skirt or a dress again. I don't know that I would stripe anything that would need.
You'd kind of end up looking like a candy cane.
Yeah. So I think that these will be 2 lovely separate garments.
Mm-hmm.
There's one that I think would, like the red is a nice red, and I'm just not sure what to do with it. I have tons of thoughts about the wheat or whatever color this is. You know, the nice neutral.
Mm-hmm.
But the red, I just, you know, my queue doesn't have anything that screams out that this needs to be made out of it.
Okay.
Yay.
Yes. Yay, yay. Any retreat news that's fit to be had? We have class signups coming on Friday.
Yes. Please be patient with me. There will be other things going on in my life at the time that I need to release these. So
Release the hounds.
And I cannot hit a button and have all of them open at once, so it'll be individually going in and unlocking them and then setting them free.
Mm-hmm.
So you will see them unlock in stages, you know, as I'm going through them.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it won't take a long time, but just be aware that I will be starting at 4 and it might not have all of them open up until I get through them.
Yep.
You might see them starting to appear locked in the thread before then. Just looking at my time management for the week, I might have to start doing that earlier than I thought.
Yep. What else? Thank you to all the sponsors that I've been in contact with and folks that are sending stuff. We've got a fantastic pile of yarn and wares and books and bags, samples already, and still more coming. So very, very excited about all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And every day ooh and ah over it, and Amy and I ooh and ah over it.
Yeah.
When she comes over. And yeah, just continues to baffle me how close it's getting.
Yes, oh my gosh. Every day when somebody posts a new number in the thread,
Yeah.
it gets like heart palpitations going. But all I have to worry about is something on Friday, getting those classes opened for you, and then I can worry about other stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Right now I got one thing on my mind, and I double checked on a few other things, and they're going smooth, so it you know, no worries on that.
Away we go.
Exactly. So,
Yeah, I think
Good.
that's all. Yep.
bye.
Bye.